So in this section of the course, we will be going over how to create and visualize a sitemap in FigJam. We'll be designing our persona in Figma, and we would also be turning those personas and sitemaps into simple low-fidelity wireframes. So follow me going to FigJam. So if you can see FigJam, this is the whiteboard where you can perform whatever activities you want to do. You can share, you can add people, you can invite them into your whiteboard to collaborate. Now we are going to be creating a sitemap for a fan produce ordering website, and these are the pages or the processes that exist for it. So our first step is the entry point. So first thing we want to do is create our entry point. We'll use our shapes. So we can see our task bar. So all our activities are here. Everything that we need to do, actions, comments, stamp, whatever it is that you want to add, this is where you add it. So we are going to create a shape. We're going to create a square. So we will use this as our entry point. So we'll name this entry point. Let me make this large. So entry point. Now if you look at this item, you can see these small dots around it. These are connectors. These are what you use to draw your diagrams. So create one to home page. So we create home page. You can also move this around. You just come to the edge and drag it. Yes. You can also change where the connector is located just by clicking on the line and dragging it to wherever in another edge. So under the home page, we have a contact us page. So we'll name this contact us. Under the home page also, we have an about us page. Okay, let me take this to the side. About us. Then under the home page also, you have products. Now for structure, we want everything to be following the same pattern. So we'll draw this down, and the same thing I said, we'll take this, connect it to the top, draw this one down also, take this, connect it to the top. Now under products, we want to have, because we have two extra parts of that, so you see you have to zoom in a bit to actually get the connectors, but they are always there. So you have two that item. So we have processed foods, and we have fresh foods. Same thing that we did for those previous ones to make it structured. Can reduce the size of the boxes also. So just pull from the edge, make it smaller. And there you have your sitemap. A simple sitemap. So you can make this for any product, a complex or a simple website. You can make a sitemap that captures all the processes and the steps. Next, we are going to go into creating our persona. So we are going to come into Figma. So you see the UI for Figma is quite different from the one of FigJam. So we're going to be using the Figma UI to create our persona. So the first thing we want to do is draw our shape, which is going to be a rectangle. You can see all our components are contained here. So I'll just walk you through the UI and what you're seeing. So you have your layers panel. So all the layers that you have are going to be contained here. Everything that is on this screen is going to be contained here. This is a rectangle. We can create a frame. So a frame is this, and it can encompass, which is what we use to create the screens. So this is now a frame. See, it has swallowed up the rectangle. The rectangle is now part of the frame. So what we are going to do, we are going to create a persona card inside this frame. We have our layers panel. We have our properties menu here. This is our task bar, like I said, for FigJam also. We have our frames, our selection tool, shapes, our pen tool, text tool for comments and other actions. So on our properties panel, this is where we edit any selected item. So now we have selected the frame, and it's the frame's properties that are displayed here. If I select the rectangle, it's going to change to the rectangle's own properties. So we want to create a persona card using this rectangle within this frame, and we'll see how it will display. So we're going to take in, we know we need the user's image, so we'll create another shape. So don't mind me, I already know most of the shortcuts. So, and they are not hard, you can just also see them here, they are all captured here. So for shapes, you press R, line L. So you familiarize yourself with the UI enough, and you would understand how to easily use it. Then, so we can make this a little longer. Pull in our data. Pull in this one. Pull in this one. We'll be editing all this text in real time, then quotes from the user. So now we have all our information that is required on this card. So we're going to now start making use of them. So here we are, name, design, you. So let's not use design, let's use a real user's name. Adeleke Adewale age 23, male, doctor, family size 5, goals, motivations, frustrations. So just to give this a little bit more structure, I will be editing the text that I have here. I'll make this a little bit bolder. So you can see my properties panel is where I'm making all these changes to the look and feel of whatever so for structure I can create a bullet point using my shapes. So you can see there are like small lines that show you exactly where things are. Okay, so let's see what a pronounces while shooting so this is what we would just call the code from the user and put everything in a structured format. So we can change the colors of things. We can add stroke to it. We can change the corner radius of our card to give it more definition. So this is your portfolio, this is your persona card, and you can decide to become more creative with it. So you can see how it's moving down the layers panel. So you can continue to make changes to this, continue refining it until it becomes something like this card here, which we have created here. So you can continue to edit, continue to increase the items you are doing, the clarity until it looks like this. So we are going to move on from persona card into creating our initial wireframes for using our sitemap. So we're just going to come here and we're going to copy the entire sitemap that we have created. So we're just going to highlight over it and we're going to press Ctrl+C, and then we'll go to the Figma design itself and paste it here. So now, because they are the same product, it's easily interoperable, so you can work from one side to the other. Then the next thing we'll do is create our frame to capture all these points. So here, once you select, let me select the frame, manual way. Once you select it, you're trying to create a website, you see all the frame types available to you: phone, tablet, desktop, presentation, watch, your paper, social media, and so on. So we're trying to create a website for a desktop application. So first of all, let us look at who our person is. Is it someone that uses a desktop or a mobile application or a mobile phone more frequently? So we'll see that, okay, this person is 23 years old, so a young, most likely tech savvy person who needs a means to be able to buy items on the marketplace, have access to new fruits, can't get a verified vendor, and the fruits delivered are not fresh. So you see, he's a doctor, he's a male, he has a family of 5, and he's 23 years old. So most likely someone in this age bracket is more in tune with using their phone than a monitor. So let us go ahead to create a phone screen. So you also have different range of phone screens. So let's create this one. So we're going to create a phone screen. So the entry point would most likely be when you're imputing the link in the URL box and you're clicking enter to load up this page. So this would be the home page. So we have home page. Now what do we want to see on this page? So under the home page we have about us, contact us, products, fresh food and processed food. But because it is a mobile screen, we cannot have different tabs for these things, except it's going to be nested in a hamburger menu. So I would create, this is just a wireframe, so remember, nothing fancy, no visual effects, nothing to use to distract you from creating structure. So this is going to be a top bar that will contain the logo. Let me change the color of this. The logo, and the hamburger menu would also be here. So we'll call this page home page. Now this is a product that is used to market farm produce. So definitely we would have featured items that would be visual here. We would also have sections. Under sections, we would have other UI elements there. That we could have a button under. So we'll classify a button like this. Give it a different color, name it button. Choose the size. This is our home page. So about us page, just create an about us page. So we can duplicate by holding the Alt key down, or on your, if you're using a MacBook, the options key. So we'll name this page about us. instead of images or visual elements, we will be having text. So we'll use lines to represent text. Then contact us. Mostly contact us pages have images at the top. You can even check the contact us page. They have images at the top. Then they have some forms, so they have some very little text. Then they have input fields for you to actually reach out and contact them. So we'll depict this as hollow boxes. Change this to white since the background is white. Then go. So you can see, you can follow through with the thinking process. You are always thinking as a designer. You are always considering. You are always making something happen based off of rational thought. So input field, then products page, so the products page can actually have image, text, and a button instead of input field. So I'll take that out and I'll paste this button here. And you can have more text on that. You could have a section. Fresh products. You can name another one. So you should understand that your frames are not set or cast in stone, so you can also still resize them. So fresh products would essentially be a list of products, so visuals. Then there should be a way for you to either see more details. So you should be able to see the title of the item name, price, description, then a button to grouping them together so I can reuse them. So in the next course we'll be talking about how to create variants and components. So things like this are reusable components, which I will break down more in the next class. So this is processed products. So I believe you were able to understand how your sitemap and your persona determines how you create your design, and it informs you on what you really need to do and how you need to go about it. So never neglect your persona, never neglect your sitemap, and use that to create the data you would use to fill in your wireframe. Well done, guys. See you in the next module.